Bucks Nation, man, I love hearing this news. We're gonna get into it. With the news of the secondary getting another dog, had to throw on the Carter Stoutmeyer jersey. Hello to everyone in the chat. Tremaine Young, what's going on? Y'all be sure to hit that like. Let me know in the comments who's listening and where you're listening from. This is gonna be a fun stream. I'm gonna obviously open up talking about Adam Hopkins, but we can kind of open it up to like an AMA. Ask me anything. We'll see how long we go here. But really looking forward to this. You might have noticed that my show with Big Dog did not happen today. He had some things come up to where we're hoping to get a show going tomorrow. So, one last housekeeping item. Shout out to Yo Martez. 10% off using the promo code SCOBuffs. You want some of that Colorado gear he's got coming out. So, links in the description, but let's get to it. All right. This was teased last week. I believe Adam Munster Tiger was talking about this, about how Adam Hopkins, number 18, was out there getting some looks at cornerback. And I mean, he makes the second number 18 we got on the defense because Miles Slusher, if I remember correctly, is also number 18. Rob the Man Media in here. Y'all go subscribe to Rob. He's crushing it as usual. And D Time's in here as well. I mean, y'all are part of my everyday crew. I love it. But man, it was great to see Well Off posted a little bit of a video. I'll go ahead and share it here on Twitter with what I was seeing. But we're going to go ahead and look at Adam Hopkins, read his scouting report when it comes to how he was rated coming out of high school, because he was a 4-star, but he wasn't just a wide receiver. I mean, this man had really impressive cornerback tape. I remember it was either Adam Munster Tiger or Brian Howell saying, like, man, his cornerback tape was actually better than his wide receiver tape. So this is pretty cool stuff, but let's go ahead and get into this really quickly. I ain't going to share this audio, but I mean, you can see Barstool Colorado posted this. It looks like freshman wide receiver Adam Hopkins has started practicing at cornerback. Hopkins was a 4-star wide receiver, but also played DB in high school, and we'll take a look at some of his DB tape here in just a minute. But here he is going up against, man, I should know 84. I should know 84, but forgot that. Keeps nice positioning. Maybe gets away with a little, but I don't care. I'm all about the physicality there at the cornerback position, and he brings great size to this room. 6 feet, 180 pounds or so, which is great. I don't know if he just started practicing there out of necessity because we've had a handful of guys in the secondary go down with injury. But nonetheless, he's a guy that could go both ways coming into college. So does this mean he's done at wide receiver? Man, I don't know. I'm a guy in his bedroom. But nonetheless, excited about seeing him on the field in this secondary, because the secondary just got another dog. And we're going to take a look at his tape, and then I'll get to some of the comments. Oh, let me share this first as well. I wanted to read y'all his scouting report here coming in to college. So Andrew Ivins put this out. Projection, Power 5 starter. Notice how he doesn't say which side of the ball, right? So let me read this. A dynamic two-way athlete that has made plays at both wide receiver and cornerback on Friday nights in Georgia, Thomasville, Georgia. Size unverified, but believed to be pushing 6 foot. No track times on record and limited testing data available, but pulls away from defenders in the open field and has one of the faster verified max speed numbers in the class of 2023, according to one database. Dealt with subpar quarterback play as a junior and totaled just 350 receiving yards, but got off to a hot start as a senior, hauling in 3 touchdown passes in his opener. Understands how to stack defenders and get vertical on the outside. Does a nice job of tracking the ball through the air and will get aggressive at the catch point. Advanced ball skills also stand out when he's on defense. As he will swat away what could be easy completions. Overall, should be viewed as a mid-sized skilled player with some juice that could carve out a role on either side of the ball at the Power 5 level with coaching and seasoning. Will need to keep improving as a route runner and learn how to create separation on Saturdays if he finds himself in um, offensive meeting rooms once on campus, but could avoid a redshirt by finding his way onto some special teams units. All conference upside. Just throwing it out there. This should not be a surprise. It's awesome to see. It's like a surprise to see it happen right now, but going into this year, not a surprise. He's a guy that can play both ways. But let's go ahead and get into just again showing you some of the tape that he has at the defensive back position. Before we get started, did want to read off his defensive stats: 31 tackles, 2 interceptions, 8 pass breakups, was named All-Region, won 6A on both offense and defense as a junior, earning him first-team honors on defense, second-team honors on offense. Isn't that interesting? First-team honors on defense, second on offense. And when I was looking back at his huddle tape with his senior year, a lot of the stuff seemed to be more wide receiver centric, but if you look at his junior year tape, which is what we're going to take a look at right now, real impressive defensive tape. So, with that being said, let's enjoy this. All right, so you still will see a mix of his wide receiver tape in here as well. Again, just showing like his ball skills. Again, check this out though. Cornerback, understanding the coverage, where the quarterback is going. Look how he peels off the man that he's initially responsible for. My guess is that this is some sort of zone, but look at this. I mean, quarterback has no idea. Understands, and again, he could just be reading the quarterback's eyes. Understands where he's going with the football here. Is able to jump this route. I mean, that's a hard play to make. And then takes it back. Takes it back for the touchdown. Awesome stuff. More wide receiver stuff here. And when you're playing wide receiver, they talked about him understanding how to stack defenders. That's going to benefit you playing the defensive side of the ball as well, because you know how to think like a receiver, right? All right, this is a nice play here. Again, you want to see some physicality. Look, reads the quarterback, understands where the play is going, and he comes to inflict some pain, forcing an incompletion. Again, that was just real nice. I want to go look at that one again. Kind of reminds me of one of Cormani McLean's hits that he started his huddle highlight tape off with. Yeah, we'll see him on the right side of the screen here, playing a little bit off, but again, understanding where the play is going. And look at his makeup speed, make up the gap in between himself and the wide receiver. His long arms definitely help in getting this ball swatted away. Man, like these jump balls, having a guy like that on the defensive side of the ball is really going to pay dividends. Then here he is playing a little bit of off coverage here. And this is if I remember correctly. Oh no, this was a different one. But again, showing that makeup speed, the ability to track the ball, understand positioning, gets the best position. He brought it down. He brought down that interception, and he's able to take it back for a long return. Shoot! He took this one for a touchdown. That was like a 109-yard pick six, man. But there's a play coming up that I was really impressed with. It might be this one. No, but nonetheless, still nice. Again, tracking, positioning, hands. These guys that we got in the secondary right now, they all got hands. You hear guys like, "Oh, I only play corner, because I didn't have the hands." Not true with this group. Not true with what Coach Prime's doing. Everybody's got elite hands. I mean, look at that, swatting that out. Bigger guy too. And then you know what? He lets him know. Incomplete. All right. Yeah, I think this was the route that I was thinking about. Yeah. So you see, he kind of has responsibility for he goes over to this like inside wide receiver here, but as he realizes again, he understands where the ball is going, he's able to peel back off. And I forget if this is an interception or an incompletion, but he's able to break up the play. Really impressive play right here. So he understands that the ball is actually not going to this receiver, it's going deep to the corner. And he's able to adjust, get back to that corner of the field and break that play up. That, like, this was the play. Going back and looking at this afternoon, man, it really stuck out to me. Understanding where he needs to go. We'll see him in some press, but again, understands where the defender or where the quarterback is going. I don't know if this was like his zone or whatever, and where he's supposed to try and bait, the quarterback into making this throw or not. But nonetheless, really impressive play. Break it up. And then what? Jumps this route, inflicting some more pain. I mean, looked like a WWE wrestler right there. Textbook tackle. And here I like this, getting some yak, understanding when to get down, which is nice. Nice little comeback route. Then I like this again, being able to turn immediately and then keep up, make up that gap. Boom, get his hand in there, break up the pass. All right, here at the top of the screen, and watch him blow this play up with a forced fumble, gets his arm in there. Bam. But yeah, just an overall, I mean, great athlete. I can kind of understand the scouting report with his athleticism might make a bigger deal on the defensive side of things. But with having so much experience at receiver, that's really paying dividends for him at the cornerback position as well. Strong guy. Look at this. Fighting through this block. Bam. Clothesline. Is that a fumble? Think so. Like a fumble to me. Again, watch this play. Break up this play. Just sticks with the wide receiver, man, like Velcro. And timing those hits to break it up. And there we go. So that about covers it. Again, like some really impressive, film here from Adam Hopkins. You show, man, the man is physical. He's got a great eye for the ball, And it does not surprise me that he's getting looks with putting that on tape. It does not surprise me that he's getting looks at the cornerback position at CU. That is for sure. So I'll get to the comments. Of course, if y'all want to ensure a comment is seen, feel free to send me a super chat. But I am on here. Again, shout out to Rod the Man Media. Y'all be sure to check in with his show. I mean, he is grinding every day. Like this coffee mug, got it in Mexico. Sun your buns. Okay. Cindy J, thank you so much for tuning in. Linda Head, thank you. Yes, we got some more speed for that defense. Adam Hopkins can definitely play the cornerback position. And man, we're stacked. We are stacked in the secondary, but man, projected as a starter, not just at wide receiver, but could project at the Power 5 level, all conference on defense. So this is no surprise. This is no surprise to me. Yes, Rod the Man coming in here saying he's been practicing on defense for a couple of weeks now. And man, I'd like to see him get in the game. And this is no surprise to me. And maybe, Rob, you can touch on this as well. And apologies if you talked about this on your show. But is he still getting some work on offense as well, or primarily just defense now? Because, man, to me, when you look at that tape, I'm right there with the Buff Stampede guys who talked about this in the winter. His cornerback tape really does really pop off at you big time. Tremaine Young, though, coming in saying, I like him better at receiver and running back. Let me know why. I would like to know. Miss Pleasantly Plum, what's up? Thank you for tuning in. It's great to see the whole family here. I love this. And I love how you guys always say hi to each other in the chat. I think it's awesome. Yes, Adam is a dog. I hope he plays Saturday. Wouldn't that be awesome to see him play on Saturday? Because I think he's got great instincts, what we saw there. And again, high school, first team, all conference on defense, second team on offense. I mean, he could play both ways, but that's really interesting to see that he was got higher notoriety on the defensive side of things, but recruited primarily as a wide receiver. Isaiah Harge is also moved to cornerback. That's right. I remember he had the two-way jersey as well. Randall Thomas, good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Tremaine Young, another dog sitting on the bench. Can you believe it? Just wait till this kid gets a chance. It's going to be fire. Absolutely. And that's what's so fun about watching this team. We get to know all these guys, through all the social media and the documentaries and, all the media attention on them. And when they have their moments, it's so exciting to see them succeed. And this is a cool story. A guy who's played both ways, now moving over to the defensive side of the ball. Another 6 foot and above corner with ball skills, with range, with speed, makeup speed. Love it. And a guy that can tackle too. All around player. Tremaine Young, all he does is make plays. Absolutely. So, yeah, I'm hoping that we see more of him moving forward because, man, we got a great young core, a stable of cornerbacks. Of course, we got Travis Hunter. We got Cormani McLean. We got, Carter Stoutmeyer, baby. There we go. Adding Adam Hopkins to that. Three out of the four of those guys, freshmen. Awesome. NB coming in here. What number is he going to wear, though? Because Slush got 18. Yeah. I don't think you can have two number 18s on the field at the same time, but maybe I'm wrong about that because he's technically a wide receiver or came onto the roster primarily as a wide receiver. I don't know. But if he has to switch numbers, I wonder what he would switch to. I don't know. No, I won't do that. It would be kind of cool to see him. Do we have like a defensive number two? You know, Shador is on offense, obviously. But you're right. He is where we are loaded at defensive back. And, what I was talking with Rawhide Media for you today, go check that out, by the way. I don't know if something else was going on, if somebody else had a big stream. We didn't really have too many people tune in. So I assume something was going on, whether it's press conferences or DNVR show or something like that. Man, my conversation with Rob was awesome. But we're talking about that, just with this defense, it's going to take a little while for everybody to click. And I think we're starting to turn the corner now. We've been defending the read option, a lot better than we did within the first couple weeks, right? Less coverage, defensive coverage breakdowns. Again, Caleb Williams was carving us up. He had time in the pocket, for most of that first half. And he was standing back there, like Rob was pointing out, 6-7 seconds sometimes. I mean, our defensive backs were doing great. There were some breakdowns, in coverage or, getting guys down in open space, but we're seeing improvement. And this is what I'm hoping for, man, is just by the time we're facing some of these more electric offenses, so to speak, UCLA, they got a very talented quarterback there, Dante Moore. Washington State, Ward, he's a big time electric quarterback. Another FCS guy that made the jump up to Power 5. Utah and Oregon State, I guess they don't really have dynamic passing offenses, but it's going to be important to shut down any pass attempts that are coming out of that offense. Make sure that we're stopping the run. It's going to be important, but this defense is going to start to gel and click at the right time. It starts this week against Arizona State, taking care of business. And B, who's he starting over? Man, that's a great question. I got no idea. I'll let the coaches make that decision, but it's clear that Adam Hopkins has a lot of potential at defensive back at the college level. No doubt. And yeah, and then you add into the vets that we got, Omarion Cooper. Who else we got? Travis J. We got Jaquez. We got a ton of guys in the secondary, but he's a guy that can definitely be that next man up. Hopefully we don't have more injuries, but if we were to have some more injuries, we can see that. We can see Adam Hopkins step in there and play. But, also we got some guys kind of on the mend right now. I guess it's expected that that Carter's going to be playing, right now this week. But, I just want us to be cautious, with some of these injuries. Hopefully none of these guys are playing too hurt, and because I would hate for them to get re-injured. Days to come. Has he shown this in practice? That's the only way he could play. And yeah, is he showing this in practice? I don't know. I've seen one clip. So, yeah, again, that's going to be up to the coaches to decide. But I think it is very interesting that there was a lot of buzz around him being a dynamic player in the secondary at the college level during his high school recruitment. I think that's something that we've forgotten about. Heck, I even forgot about that as the summer went on. Nicholas Braxton, Adam Hopkins will be a problem next year. Yes, sir. Imagine Travis Cormani, Adam Hopkins, Carter Stoutmeyer, Charles Lester. Adam Hopkins at the Star. That would be interesting. That would be very interesting. Maybe more long term. He could definitely fill out that nickel. I like that we've seen some Carter at nickel as well. Let me think here. But yeah, with Slusher and Cameron Silman Craig, I forget their eligibility right now for next year off the top of my head. But I've really liked what Cameron Silman Craig's doing, right now. And Jane Milner Jones has shown a little bit at the star position as well. another really talented freshman that we have out of DeSoto, Texas. We'll just have to see. Next year, the receiving group is going to be lit. Yes, 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 yes. I think we're going to get a bunch of transfers, man. And at that defensive front seven, we're going to continue to build the depth that we need because, man, we got a thin rotation going on right now. More linebackers, more speed at linebacker. That would be great. But man, we're going to bring in some wide receivers, no doubt, no doubt. My guess is, Xavier. Is it Xavier or Xavier? I've seen his name pronounced like that both ways. I have a cousin who pronounced it Xavier, which is why I always find myself pronouncing his name like that. Apologies if that's the wrong way, but y'all just let me know. Um, but yeah, with Weaver going to the NFL next year, we got Omari and Cooper, which is great, but we're going to need more guys to continue to step up. Tremaine Young coming in here. We really need him on offense. Yeah, it would be great to see him get some snaps on both sides of the ball, honestly. But yeah, after Omari, and we haven't seen Jalen Ellis yet much. We haven't seen Willie Gaines much on the field. Personally, I know this is the college game, so it's a little bit different compared to the NFL. But man, I love the size. I love the height. It allows you to do more things. ASAP coming in here saying Travis Jay should be moved back to safety with Hopkins added into the cornerback group. Yes, we're having him play more inside too. Maybe that star position. Yeah, which is like that hybrid safety. Can do a little bit of linebacker, jack of all trades type of position. I agree with you. Let's see what else y'all got to say. Nicholas, if CU gets some linemen along with some other pieces, there will be a problem. Yes, 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 yes. And we're gonna see our lines get better as the year goes on. This offensive line is gonna get better. We saw them take a step this past week. What did we average? Like 40 yards rushing a game, and we put up 200 yards of rushing against USC. And again, some of the guys that I've been more critical of and I've had kind of that closer eye on, such as Jack Bailey, Landon Beebe, Van Wells, like they played well against USC. Now it's important to continue to build off of that. And I think Sean Lewis did a great service to helping out the offensive line this past week. We're calling more run plays. We're calling some different RPOs and options for Shador. Again, having that 50-50 pass to run ratio keeps the defense on their heels, and it allows the offensive line to have a little bit more success because these defensive linemen have to think. The front seven has to think. And again, credit to Jack Bailey, man, getting out there for some of those big screen passes. He was moving. I've criticized him for being the lightest guy that we got on the line, but man, he played a great game this past week, and now my expectation is as we get deeper into conference play, we need to be enforcing our will on the offensive line. We have the size. Overall, we have the size, even with Jack Bailey in the lineup. Overall, this is a line significantly larger than what we've seen, at CU in the past couple of years. It's just taking a little bit of time to work out all the kinks. And NB, man, bringing up a great point that I was talking about last night. Aaron Butler, he will be playing wide receiver here. That is the plan. He's played both wide receiver and cornerback at Calabasas. But, man, he is a five-star player. With the David Talks Buffs recruiting rankings, he is the number one rated overall recruit in the entire country, 5-star plus. He's going to come in here and rock it as a true freshman. That is for sure. Dynamic wide receiver. Chris Mert coming in from North Carolina. Love that. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day, as well as Indian Carter. What's going on? Appreciate all the love. And man, we got 230 people in here. Good Lord. Y'all hit that like and let me know, Your thoughts in the comments. I always love talking with all the fellas in here. Days to Come is saying if Prime's moving a wide receiver to DB, it only means more receivers are coming and players are going to get to the portal. I think that could be that theory makes a lot of sense. I think also, again, I don't have any inside information, but we've had a lot of injuries in the secondary, man. And, having a guy as talented as Adam Hopkins, making sure that he's good to go when we need that next man up this year. Yes, 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 yes. Indian Carter coming in here saying, I'm ready for an Alton McCaskill to have his moment. Yes, same here. He's still our best running back on the roster. No doubt. That man can do everything. And hopefully this is a chance where we get to see him get, um, you know, 10, 15 snaps, probably more realistic. My hope, man, I want to get that man 10 to 15 touches. That's just me. But I'm not coming up with the game plan. And, we had great production out of Anthony Hankerson and Dylan Edwards last week. And yeah, it would be nice to integrate some more Alt McCaskill because we're gonna need him, man. When we're facing that tough Oregon State defense, when we're facing that tough Utah defense at the end of the year, I mean, we're really gonna need him, and it's time we start increasing his workload, getting him ready for that. And hey, we're in a New Year's Six Bowl. We'll definitely need him going up against a tough opponent. I mean, right now the expectation, if we can just put together a full 60 minutes of football we're not making any dumb mistakes and shooting ourselves in the foot, there's no reason why we shouldn't win out. If we don't win games, it's because we beat ourselves. But hopefully, this second half against USC is the turning point for us. We thought that was against Nebraska. I mean, we played really well against Nebraska. And then again, with opponent, in my opinion, that we should have dominated in CSU. We kind of laid an egg in that first half. And this is going to be a good test against Arizona State, a team that's 1-4, a team that got blown out by Fresno State. I understand they're ranked, G5 undefeated. This is also a team that almost lost to Southern Utah, week 1, and now they got a bunch of guys out. They're like on their third string quarterback right now. It is so important for this team to go in and handle business, choke out any belief that this team might have. Of pulling off a miraculous comeback. We cannot start off the way that we did against CSU. And this is an awesome opportunity to show the world that, hey, CU is growing, that we're improving, that we're getting the slow starts, out of us. Like all that is done. We can just turn it on, from the first snap. All right. Yes, please smash that like button. Indian Car coming in here saying Caleb Mathis has been wearing number 18 the past couple of games since the Nebraska game. I didn't even notice that. Really? Well, then what has Adam Hopkins been wearing? Are you sure? Because Caleb Mathis isn't he 13? I don't know. Y'all help me out with that one. Aurelius, this team looks like they're gaining great chemistry. Yes, and we're going to see less mistakes. Again, we had less penalties this week. I believe we cut the penalties in half. 6 or 7 from 12 or 13 the previous week against Oregon. That was a step. Now we just got to eliminate these false starts or lining up wrong, these sorts of things. But we did a wonderful job. I don't think we had one personal foul this week, which is which is huge. Or maybe we had one. Y'all tell me. But teams have been baiting us into getting those personal fouls, and we have taken it. We played more disciplined football this past week. We still have, some steps to take with that. Ooh, Salty Vet coming in here with a great question. And again, if you want to ensure I answer your question, just send me a little super chat, like $2 or whatever I think is the minimum. Always appreciate it. Salty Vet. What do you think about moving Javon Antonio to tight end? He would be a good rotation with Mikey. He has good size and has good hands. At first, I was like, nah. But now I'm like, yeah. I think I'd like to see it. Javon, he's had a really interesting career because y'all didn't know this, he was recruited out of high school as a tight end and then made the switch to wide receiver at Northwestern State. So he's kind of this tweener. It's a little bit awkward. Does he lack some of the physicality for tight end? Maybe, but he's been a good blocker for us at the wide receiver position. I think he would be an asset, and I think I'm more open to this. Seeing this happen because it would be kind of fun to run some of these two tight end sets. We saw that a lot with Sean Lewis last year, not a lot the year prior, but yeah, you have both him and Mikey on the field. That could cause some matchups for, their defense with certain linebackers or safeties. I think Javon has enough speed to give some of those guys some issues. But, yeah, I would like to see it. And seeing what Tim Brewster did with Mikey Harrison, I mean, he was a walk-on wide receiver, the last few years, and he didn't see the field on teams that were terrible. Absolutely terrible. And now he's a starting tight end for the Buffs this year. And, credit to him for putting in the work, taking the coaching to heart, not transferring out like, we had another tight end here come in here and not want to take the coaching to heart. And, I think he'll get himself a scholarship and, hopefully some more NIL money too, right? But he's playing great. But I would love to see Javon do that because, with Omarion coming around, man, it's going to be hard to can't take Omarion off the field right now after he put up basically 200 yards in one half of football. But if Tim Brewster can do it with Mikey Harrison, he can do it with Javon, no doubt. No, see, made that point. Tremaine, I think he can block. Now he's going to be blocking different. He's not going to be blocking DBs. So we'll have to see that. But I think he's a good blocker. How big is Hopkins? I think he is 6 foot, like 180. Let me go ahead and check for you here really quick. Have this bookmark. 6 feet, 175. And I think this was done in the spring. So another 6 foot corner. I mean, that is just so ideal. AI Dog author or Al Dog author. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, but we need O linemen. Yes, we need more O line recruits. But guys, don't forget, we brought in some highly recruited JUCO guys that I think just have needed some more time to get up to speed. Kareem Harden's a big guy. I think he's like 315. Jeremiah McCrinnon, he's like around that 320, 325 size as well. These are guys that I think that they were playing more tackle at the JUCO level. Oh man, put those big boys inside. But yeah, if we're able to get somebody like Jordan Seaton, in addition to interior line Dawg, Talon Chandler, who's already committed here, coming here in the class of 24, that would be super ideal. But I don't think right now O-line is the number one need. No, I think it's our defensive line. Right now we have pretty much like a 6-man rotation on the interior. It's a little light. And in terms of size, if you're looking at size, our defensive line is still more undersized compared to where our offensive line is at. Our offensive line is if you want to take the whole weight, I think I did this in the spring, you want to take the whole weight and divide it and all this to have like an average size of the offensive line. We're right there towards the top third of the Pac-12, but we still have to gain size, strength, athleticism on both sides of the ball. But for me, I would like to see some bigger guys on the defensive line. I mean, I think Shane Cokes or Omari McNeil, I mean, those are some of our biggest guys that we have on the defensive line, and I just think they're barely over 300 pounds, if I remember correctly. Maybe Bishop Thomas might be the biggest. I can't remember right now. But that's my biggest need. And you'll see the offensive line play better as we move forward. Again, USC, yes, they got a bad defense, but they do have some big time athletes on that defensive line. They lead the NCAA, or led at the time, college football in sacks. And I think we kept to our least sacked number so far, with only 2 sacks against USC, which was great. All right. Salty Vet saying Ward and Shiloh will be in at safety. Cam will play the star position Saturday. Man, yeah, I'll be pumped to see whatever kind of rotation we got going on. But man, I know, man, Miles Slusher came in as that starter, and I've liked his play, but I mean, Cam's been playing out of his mind. It's going to be hard to get him off the field. I think right now, I'd like to see Cam continue to do his thing. That man makes plays. Zion coming in here. Anybody talking about 6 and 6 for this team is just straight hating, or you just haven't straight up watched this team. Yeah, that's really it. I mean, when we were talking about this team throughout the summer and the spring, if you guys just did a little bit of research, y'all would have realized, man, this team was way better than 3.5 games. And guys, we're going to hit that over. We're going to hit the over on that 3.5 wins, and we're going to be a lot richer this weekend. Am I right? It's going to be awesome. But yeah, man, this team, again, I picked them to be 8-4, which maybe it ends up around there. But kind of how I'm looking at it right now is if we lose any game, it's going to be because of us making dumb penalties, not playing clean on special teams. Hopefully we have ended that. I'm telling you, man, this special teams have made me want to pick up a pack of Newports again. I cannot have that happen anymore. All right. Days to come. Do you think our edge rusher Kyrie Mans will stay? I mean, your guess is as good as mine. I don't really know how to read some of that with guys who haven't been on the field like a ton. I really don't know. All I know is that, man, this is a business, and I think that we're going to be bringing in a ton of talent in that front seven. I mean, we already are in the high school class. Brandon Davis Swain, Eric Brantley. Who knows what happens with Omar White? I mean, I just don't really know. I think until all his legal stuff is determined, with I don't know if he has like a hearing or trial or whatnot. I have no idea, or if there's going to be a plea bargain. No idea. But I don't think we will know anything about him until any of that's figured out. But if you guys have updates on that, let me know, because I just haven't seen anything. Reef, much love from Michigan. Keep being real and genuine, bro. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Reef. It's been great to see all the people from Michigan kind of tuning in this channel, man. I love it, man. I love it. And hopefully we see more of these guys from Michigan come out here. I think it'll be a lot of fun. But it means a lot. And it's great talking with Lawrence Collins, too, from Belleville, Michigan. What are y'all so butthurt about? It's Roderick Ward time at safety. Hey, man, I don't have any allegiances to anything other than, winning and results. That's just what I want to see. Roderick Ward played great. He played great. I would love to see more of him. He adds, some more speed to that secondary. I would not mind seeing more of that. And man, the Mans have great hands. And again, like I know Trevor Woods has been a popular guy to kind of pick on lately, but he's had his moments too. He's had some very key interceptions for us. It's just right now the part of his game that is kind of it's not his strength is some of that open field tackling. With some of the open field tackling, he's done a really good job at that at certain points, but man, with USC, man, he had a couple, man, that really did get away. And again, having some guys like Roderick Ward back there with a little bit more speed, that's always helpful, right? But man, I'm going to be fine with whatever the coaches decide to do. I think right now safety is our deepest position. So there isn't anybody on this team that I would deem bad or trash or garbage or anything like that in terms of our secondary. No, but I think man, especially if we're going up against Dante Moore, I think it's going to be important that we have as much speed, on the field as possible, going up with a dynamic quarterback and offense that they got at UCLA for sure. Oh, Reef, you're bringing up a great point here. I can't wait to play Colorado on the new college football game next year. Yes, I have a Nintendo Switch, and I really only play it when like I fly. I'll play like Tony Hawk. But yeah, I might actually have to buy a game system next year to play with the Buffs. I think that would be a lot of fun. Jermaine Young says, Zion, I'm sticking with Trevor. Everyone hates Trevor, but I'm just kidding. I love all of them, man. And all of our safeties right now, they have made plays. Again, I think that Rod Ward, man, he played really well. I would like to see him more. I want to see him more, absolutely. And maybe you do some different things where you are, bringing Trevor Woods down into the box a little bit more for some of these looks. But we don't have one player on the secondary that's bad. That's just my thoughts. King Richardson saying, by the way, big fan of Anthony Richardson. ASU with the upset, man. You got to give me your score prediction and tell me how much money you put on the line for ASU to cover that 4.5 point spread. Right? I got to know, man. Is it our defense? Do you just see Scattaboo just running all over us? I got to know. I got to disagree with you though. But this is a Colorado channel. What do you expect? But thanks for tuning in, man. Let's see what else we got. You're saying ASU almost beat USC too? I guess that's fair, man. That's fair. And this quarterback that they have, man, I can never remember his name, but he lit us up last year. Of course, our team last year was, absolutely terrible. But man, this is a game where we should come in and take care of business. But to your point, King Richardson, we've kind of played outside of Oregon. We've kind of played up and down like to our competition. I guess we kind of blew out Nebraska in the second half, but TCU, Colorado State, USC. These weren't games, or yeah, even the first half. Against Nebraska, it's like we let these teams kind of hang around. And man, against USC, I only saw the second half of the Arizona game against USC, so trying to remember. But we win that game against USC if man, we can just we could get a punt off and make a 40-yard field goal. Mikey's been great, guys. Give this man a scholarship. We got like what 5, 6 open scholarship spots right now. Give this man a scholarship, and yeah, he's going to put on some more weight. What's great about kind of the college game is that you don't need to have the biggest tight ends. Like the NFL, man, it is absolutely important, man, that you have some serious size on you to be on the field. But Mikey's been doing a great job. Yeah, we need to put it together, Nicholas. You're totally right. The next couple of games against Arizona State, against Stanford, we have to handle business. We cannot give these guys that are coming in. This is their Super Bowl. We have a target on our backs because everybody loves us or hates us, but everybody loves talking about us. That is the one consistent thing, right? And they're going to come out there playing their hearts out, and we have to squash any of that belief with these teams. Because when you let them hang around, dangerous things happen. King Richardson, Omarion was a beast last week. Yeah, like man, he was awesome. And again, man, things take a while for everything to click. We had 4 weeks to implement our schemes, preseason before the season started. And there's just a lot of chemistry that you got to work out. Now, luckily, we've continued to make big plays, even with things kind of being a work in progress. Kind of us hitting bumps in the road and stuff like that. As teams come together, we've been making plays to still overcome some of that and have ourselves a winning record right now going into week 6. So we're gonna see this team get better. I mean, they better get better. They better play, more clean football, or else, man, we got some serious problems. But that's just that that's not even really on the radar for me. This is just like seeing, something involved. Like you got your what, come on, man, what you got your Charmander, and then you're seeing it, evolve into the Charizard, right? Now I know there's a middle phase right there. Maybe we're kind of in that middle Pokemon, whatever it is right now. Chameleon, was that his name? Chameleon. But man, we're going to be Charizard. We are going to be Charizard here by the end of the year, no doubt. And if we can get that win in Salt Lake City to end the season against Utah, baby, we're coming. We're coming for that Big 12 title, no doubt. Imagine what that's going to do for recruiting. Yeah, Nicholas coming in here saying we need guards bad. Yes, yes. And some of these offensive tackles that we brought in from the JUCO level, I would personally like to see them boop, right there inside. Do we all go 7-5? Hey, I understand. Again, my projection right now is just based off of the belief that this team will come together and play complete football against tougher opponents coming down the line. And what we're going to get for these next couple weeks. But if you're going off of historical data, we have not played consistent. We have been very sloppy at times. We've let our guard down, and yeah, that's why it's totally possible for us to still drop some games as we go throughout the year. Yeah, if you're, yeah, we're not giving outsiders or anything like that any reason to believe that we should be above the 6-6 right now with how inconsistent we play. I think we'll get there though. Tremaine Young, I agree with you on this. I would like to see Savell Smalls more. Again, 5-star talent. Who knows why it didn't work at Washington, but I still think, man, one of the best athletes that we have on the team. And that's why beginning of the year too, I would like to see him at tight end too. Put him at tight end because he's a bigger guy, than Mikey Harrison, and a bigger guy than Javon Antonio. And he played both ways. He played tight end and edge, defensive line, linebacker. I mean, safety. He was doing everything in high school. He was doing absolutely everything. And MB, thank you. I have been wondering, man, where has Jack Wilty been? Because he had a great game against TCU, man. Had a great game, and then we haven't seen him since. What the heck? And up until this week, man, I've been clamoring for him. I would like to see him back in there. But the line played well this past game, and we'll see if we can build off of that. But Jack Wilty, man, he's a guy that I like. He can get out in space real quick. I know, man, not the Newports, man. This special teams unit is just bad for my health. Good Lord, this has got to stop. This has to stop, right? I mean, I was telling Rawhide Media today, when we were watching that Oregon game, right, with Big Dawg, I was doing that stream with Big Dawg, and it felt good. I know it was against the second team defense or whatever in Oregon, but it was great not to get shut out, get that touchdown, and then how do we end the game with a blocked point after attempt? Really? And it just makes you want to pull your hair out. Now, granted, I was glad we blocked field goals correctly this past week, but man, I was telling Rob, I don't even think it's a possibility in these video games for a point after attempt, to be blocked. And yet you see one from the 2-yard line blocked? Inexcusable. All right. Alan Keith, CU has been sacked 26 times in 5 games. This is a multi-dimensional problem that must end. It affects the passing game, the running game. Thus, the O-line must be fixed as the first priority. I agree with you there. I agree with you there. However, um, the offensive line did a much better job pass protecting this past week. And it's not a coincidence that we called a more unpredictable game. 45 passes to 45 rushes. Um, our offense and the play calling, those first few weeks did our offensive line no favors. When you have guys that, I mean, even Oregon said it, Dan Lanning said it. We knew they weren't even going to try to run the ball, so we just planned for the pass. It was why their wide receiver or their edge rushers were just able to get down, get ready, and then just go. They didn't even have to think. Um, could this line be better? Yes. Is this an elite line that can go up against a defensive front like the Texas Longhorns right now? No. Is it good enough to put up big time production in the Pac 12? Absolutely. We have not been playing up to our standard. And I think one positive to take from this, Alan, is that, again, we called a much better game against USC, and we saw the offensive line play much better. 2 sacks given up this past week. So you can say it's 26 times in 5 games, but it's essentially 24 times in 4 games. And I think that's a big time improvement. I mean, what's 24 divided by 4? 6. So we cut down the sacks that we were giving up by 2/3 or whatever. That's a big deal. King Richard, you got to let me know. Are you an ASU fan? I got to know. But if you're a Colts fan, dude, I don't even know. But if you're a Notre Dame fan, hey, Notre Dame bowl matchup against CU, that'd be kind of nice. Jeremiah McCrinnon, he's going to be nice once he finally gets playing time. Yes. He could have gone to a lot of other colleges, if I remember correctly. Like him and Kareem Hardman were recruited by some big time blue bloods in the college football world, and they chose to come here to CU. So, man, I wouldn't mind seeing some more of them, later in the year. It'd be a lot of fun. D time. I brought this up to you, but yes, we need to get all these local corn-fed boys here and develop them. And yes, 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 yes. Gage Ginther, offensive tackle, #1 ranked player in Colorado, currently committed to the Tennessee Volunteers. He was at the game this past weekend. If we can get him to flip, oh man, that would be just huge, huge. Him, Seaton, Talon Chandler, watch out. But yeah, you're totally right. Life with Reek and Tasia. CU defense versus Scadaboo. Yes. Scadaboo leads their team in rushing, in receiving. I mean, he throws passes. He does everything. We cannot let him get any momentum. Put Cormani on Elijah Badger. Have him handle it. Then let's get a couple guys making sure they're taking care of Scadaboo. Yeah, we cannot take ASU for granted. We can't allow, to sleep on any teams moving forward. This is Pac 12 football we're talking about. This is a darn good conference this year. And, as a wounded dog, as Rawhide has brought this up before, a wounded dog, if they get a little hope, they will bite. And we cannot afford to get bit right now, especially on the road. We have to squash them. We have to kill any sort of belief they might have at the beginning of the game. That's why I hope, man, can we just start off a game with our offense? Please, Lord. Please. Start it off with our best unit. Horace Copeland, what's going on with Smoke and Vito Tisdale? They're both really good players, yes. And they're there are also a lot of really good players, in those position groups. And I think that's why you haven't seen more of them. I wouldn't mind seeing some more Smoke, though, that's for sure. And you're right, Andrew. This team is starting to gel. Let's put it all together. Let's play a full 60-minute game. Arizona State has 13 turnovers on the year. 13. I want our secondary to absolutely feast. Oh man, and Coach G, man, Saturday Pac-12. You reminded me, man. If y'all need the Pac-12 network, because this game has been determined to be on the Pac-12 network, we have to play a game on there every year, at least one of them. So sign up for free trials with Sling TV or Fubo in order to get the Pac-12 network. Yeah, you can't find this anywhere. Otherwise, there are probably some other sites that you can go to, but if you're wanting a good high quality stream, just sign up for a free trial and then cancel. Giggity, good to see you. Let's see, going through more of the comments here. Oh, sweet. Raha Media is checking in. Y'all be sure to go subscribe to him. Very insightful. Love his personality. Super entertaining and thoughtful. So go subscribe to him. Like, for real, we got to get this man to 500 subs. He's like right there. He's like 20 away. And if you're not following him, like a lot of the stuff that he's been talking about throughout the summer, man, you've seen it come to fruition. He knows ball. J. Dot coming in here. Bailey was the best lineman last week, highest graded. Wow. That's amazing. Yeah, I haven't looked up any of the Pro Football Focus ratings or anything like that, but that makes me so happy to see. I am happy. I'm happy to eat my crow with him. He played great. He played great, and I want to see him play great again. Regina, I know what you mean about Newports. I'm glad I don't have the Pac-12 network, but I do have SiriusXM, so my anxiety will be manageable. Hey, that's one way to deal with it, right? But again, if you are looking for a television stream, start one of those free trials and then just cancel it. Let's see here. But Coach G, you're right. We have to keep number 2 up. Period. Darn it. Absolutely. And we can't be calling, any ridiculous games where we're running the ball 13 times. No, that has to end, especially with the talented backs that we got and the good offensive line that we have. We have a good offensive line. We have just not done them any favors to get going. No. Sean Lewis is not bad. Trust me. As a Broncos fan and as a Buffs fan, I have seen a ton of terribly coordinated offenses. Yes, do I have issues with some of the play calling and some of the strategy with some of these games? Absolutely. Sean Lewis is a brilliant mind. Again, go back and look at some of the film reviews I've done. This man coordinates to the talent that he has. The offense that he was running in 2021, way different than what he was running in 2022, which is way different than what he's running here with the Buffs. He's a bright mind. He's not perfect. No coordinator calls the perfect game. And I think he's finding his stride as well. Just like these guys are finding their chemistry on the field, our coordinators are figuring out how to call this game to benefit the strengths of their position groups, no doubt. Lawrence Collins coming in here, man. Yeah, give me your thoughts on Adam Hopkins, man. It's looking like he's going over to cornerback and another 6-foot cornerback, baby. I love it. Horace McLean, I predicted will have a super confidence building game Saturday. Yes, please. He will get an interception. Let's go. Miller will have another 100-yard receiving game. Heart and not prideful pride. It's a great thing. Yes. We got to play with pride. We got to play with who we know we are, right? And we're a bunch of dogs. We got to play like we got more talent, which we do. See, Jake, yes, I dealt with a man that somehow, man, his dad was a coach, yada yada yada. He'd been around NFL coaching his whole life and couldn't get a play call in last year. Yes, and man, the CU offenses, man, you guys forget, man, we had a converted safety playing quarterback for us just a few years ago because our quarterback room was so bad. You think that wasn't a bad offense to call? Come on, man. Yeah, say it again. Sean Lewis is a great OC. Yes, nobody is perfect, but man, this blows my mind again. For some reason, people are criticizing the most consistent, best phase of our team right now. We're not 3-2 without our offense, without how Sean Lewis is calling these games. And the offense sure isn't the reason that we lost last week. I'll tell you that. So, I mean, if y'all want to get making all these conspiracy theories, at least have ones that are believable, right? The offense isn't making me want to smoke cigarettes. The basement says Cormani was getting beat left and right in practice today. Well, good thing he's going up against top end wide receivers. He's not going to see anybody that good, against ASU. And if there's a way to get better, man, it's uh, these cornerbacks, DBs, and wide receivers going at each other. Absolutely. To be honest, I don't give two craps about practice. What I see happen on tape, I know the coaches make decisions based on how guys are performing in practice. I don't care. I don't care one bit. But I'm just a guy in his bedroom talking ball. That's all I do. I don't care. I don't care about practice. I'm not reading too much into it. But Cormani's great. I mean, man, you saw how he shut down Brendan Rice. Who cares what he does in practice? That man got on the field and balled out. Balled out. That's right. Go get him, David. Don't smoke cigarettes. That's right. Bring some positivity into your life. And out here in Colorado, there's a lot of fun ways to do it. Who's talking about all McCaskell not leaving? He uses free. What is up with you guys, man? This is just like what I saw over the summer. It's like, where's Cormani? Why didn't I see this guy in the well off video? What's going on? Everybody's just freaking out, dude. Who cares, man? Who cares? Who cares? We're gonna bring in some other guys too, and every program deals with this. Guys come and guys go. There will be a portion of this roster that flips over. That happens to everybody. But the majority of this roster is going to stay, especially when guys have used their free transfers. And Ald's not playing because he's bad. No, he's playing because he's not playing because still, working that knee back in full confidence, baby. Sometimes it takes guys just a while to get over that mental hurdle. I mean, Jamal Murray sat out, over a year and a half before he was ready to test that knee again. I'll tell you what. Yeah, the basement again. This is why, like, sometimes I don't always watch all the well off videos. Is that sacrilegious for me to say? Or sometimes I'll fast forward to them, just the conversations and stuff, because I don't care about practice. I don't. I don't care about practice. Hey, the basement. Who do you want starting over Cormani? I'm just curious, man, because when I watch that game, don't tell me about practice because I already told you I don't care about practice. But against USC, man, they got one completion on Cormani, and everything else that Caleb Williams got was against our other DBs. He was not thrown at Cormani. Yeah, man. And I feel like, man, sometimes again, man, our society, it's so instant result. We play video games where, the guys just heal instantly, and you can go on to playing the next week or whatever. It's just like sometimes like that these we forget that these players are 18, 19, 20-year olds. On top of that, they're humans that are actually healing from injuries. They have to get over mental hurdles. And then I love the haters that come in here and say, man, you're just soft, man. This is a soft generation. Nah, man, I'm just being realistic. This is how life works. Sometimes it takes people that are new to college to get up to speed. Do you remember how just ridiculously dumb some of those high school classes you were or that you took were? And then you get to college and there's not really classes like that. Like again, you have to grow like your mental muscles to like take on just how much you have to grind throughout the day, through class, through practice, through preparation, making sure that you're eating right, all those different things, discipline. And but y'all are like, the first player you hear struggling with that, you're like, well, he's a bad culture fit. No, by the time you get to the NFL, yes, there needs to be very little patience, for stuff like that. But I mean, y'all forget that these are just young men. You guys forget, how long it took y'all to get your stuff together. I'm 30 years old, and it's only until recently I feel like I can do dishes consistently. So y'all don't hit me with that lazy BS. Adam Hopkins. Okay, yeah, you're trolling, man. Give me a freaking break. Cormani made one play in the end. Dude, go back and watch the game, man. He was a blanket on Brendan Rice, man. He was a blanket, man. There was all right. I guess I'll stop entertaining the basement. But that was funny though. Yeah, and you know what? This is an aspect that I really do love about Cormani, Keenan Jackson. This man again. There's been a lot of just BS said about him. In speculation of why he's not on the field, which is just terrible. That players have to deal with a lot of this ridiculous speculation. Man, that man kept his eyes, kept his mind focused on the task at hand. He made improvements last week. He saw the field, and he had his moments. He's not one of these guys that needs to go out here and talk all this stuff. He has a, he's an awesome kid. He's an awesome young man, and you're only going to see him grow more confident. As this season goes on, like I'm so happy for him, and especially coming here, the spotlight's on him. There's going to be things why you're not playing, yada yada yada. Nah, man, he put all that to rest, and we're only going to see him continue to grow now. Cormani's a great kid. He's just human. So, and this pisses me off. Like all y'all, not all y'all, but some of y'all, man, y'all hold these kids to higher standards than you even hold yourself. Come on now. Come on now. I can't be criticizing, these players for doing certain things, man. When I was even, bigger of a knucklehead in college, man. I barely even did my laundry my freshman year, man. All right. All right. So, anyways, I guess I'll take some last second questions here, and then I'll wrap it up and get some dinner. But man, guys, I love talking all this stuff with you guys. It's just a lot of fun, and again, man, I just do this for fun. So y'all hit that subscribe, and more fun things are coming with the channel. Um, I don't know. I don't have like any fun secrets or anything like that, but like Dave Talks Buffs, man, we're growing here. we're growing here, and it's not stopping. And I'm going to continue to be me. I'm not trying to be one of these professional journalists. Half the time, man. I was telling Raw this, man. Half the time, man, when I pick out these plays to do these film reviews, I might have taken a little gummy beforehand or whatever, and then by the time I get on with y'all, I forget why I even chose these plays. I just want to have fun with this, man. I just want to have fun with this, and that's what we're doing. So don't be coming to me as some expert. I'm just a typical Colorado guy in here. Y'all don't believe this. I couldn't even grow a beard before I moved here, which is, kind of funny. But, I'm just a typical guy, that just wants to have fun doing this. And, that's what we're going to do. So, um, man, you guys are cracking me up. Yeah, yeah, man. But yeah, some of y'all like to act like that. You have all your ducks in a row, man. Come on now. Come on, man. I got a pile of laundry on my bed right now. Horace Copeland, just subscribe today. Keep up the great job. Horace, let me know where you're from. If you already told me, I'm really sorry about that. But that means a lot. Shout outs to my biggest cities that watch this channel: Atlanta, Dallas, Houston, New York City, and Chicago. I appreciate the kind words, Alan Keith. Always love seeing you tune in here as well. It's always a lot of fun hearing your thoughts as well. But yeah, y'all smash that like button. Appreciate Rob as always. And this whole thing, man, of just getting to know so many of y'all has been, just a lot of fun. Content creators, commenters, we're like one whole family. And what is a family without some dysfunction, right? So of course y'all are going to go back and forth in the comments every now and then, right? If you don't have some dysfunction as a family, how do you know the importance of family? You know? Damn, man. I just had to put that up there. Evansville, Indiana. Let's go. Let's go. One of my good friends lives in Terre Haute. Giggity, do they make gummies in a buffalo shape? No, that is outlawed here. There is nothing to be made in a shape that could be confused as like candy for children. So you will find nothing in really cool shapes. The Mike Tyson ear gummies are not sold here. You cannot legally do that. But yeah, man, I have a lot of fun with this. And again, I don't take myself too seriously on here. So that's what makes this thing a lot of fun, man. So, I was telling Rawhide Media, after our stream today, I think it's funny, man. Even if some of the people in the media watch this or whatever local media, might be able to give me a media pass here at some point. I do not give a crap about any of that. I just want to talk ball. I don't care to go ask a question like a reporter about what you saw this and get a canned answer or anything like that. Maybe I will do some player interviews, after the season and whatnot, but I want to keep it fun. Like, I don't want to be asking the guys. I want to find the guys that like want to talk about life, like outside of, just X's and O's and like preparation and all the canned answers that you normally get. That's why I really like Colin, from Life and Football. He has a real unique way of opening these guys up in ways that I think, I don't know if I'd be necessarily able to do because, he comes from, where all these players live. He understands the life. He understands the grind, having played. Nah, man, I'm just a keyboard coach. And I'm a personality. But, I want to talk about them with some of their other interests, guys who write or maybe make music, some of the movies and shows that they're into, man. I think like that kind of stuff would be kind of fun, a little bit different. And heck, even some that are like taking school, fairly seriously, seeing what they want to do with their career or their careers just after football, whether that's after the professional or college ranks. So I do have a question for y'all. I guess I'll leave y'all with is, if I were to start like at some point, like start like a membership for the YouTube channel, any ideas for like like what that would be? I'm not an insider. So like again, like one cool thing that I really like about Rob's channel is that, he has a ton, he hears a ton of different things. So with his subscriber audience, with his membership audience, he'll talk about some of those, things and things that he's hearing to them, a little bit more before he ever breaks it to the general audience. That's not really my lane, again, just being here in my bedroom. But if there's ever anything you guys think would be kind of an interesting perk that I could give y'all with a membership, who knows? But y'all reach out to me on Twitter. Let's all wish the basement, just a happy evening. I don't know what's going on with you, man, but yeah, man, what, whatever's going on, man. I hope you have a great rest of your evening, and always appreciate, man. Um, always appreciate, y'all tuning in here, man. And it's always fun getting the family together, man. Y'all crack me up. You should do film sessions with members, maybe longer ones, like on a Patreon, where like I'm breaking down the real, like the stuff that isn't all 22, because like right now I try to stick with the all 22 stuff because I can still monetize that. And if I'm going to be putting in work, around like my real full-time jobs that I do, I want it to be monetized. That's just the incentive for me. So that's why you'll see me kind of work with all 22 tape. But doing a Patreon could be a way to get around that because it's not publicly broadcasted. But I can pull from more recent stuff. Like I could pull like the condensed game from this past week, have all of that. So yeah, that's a really good idea, raising eyebrows. Like a really good idea. I'm gonna chew on that for a little bit. So, man, I appreciate you guys so much. You guys freaking rock, and I just have a lot of fun doing this. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll be meeting at 10 a.m. with Steve from QB Spotlight, going over quarterback performance of Shador, previewing his matchup this week, and then talking some greater college football quarterback matchups. Hopefully, we'll have Big Dog and Dave tomorrow evening as well. And going to have my weekly betting show with my good friend Corey, who went on a ton of his bets last week, doing that tomorrow evening. So really appreciate all of you. I think we'll also hit up Bird's Eye View tomorrow as well. So, man, you guys just crack me up now. So y'all have a great evening. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Let's go, Bucks.